Good morning, FlowChat Connector. I hope you're doing really well today. Sean back at you here with another high-ticket tune-up. In this video, I'm going to share personality selling filters and give you an explanation that will stick in your brain forever. You'll be able to use it today, tomorrow, the next day, the next week, the next month, the next year, and it will change how you interact with people moving forward. What's up, FlowChat Connector? Sean back at you with another high-ticket tune-up. Hope you're doing well today. Don't forget to smash that like button. Share this out to somebody who's trying to get better at sales or anybody that just wants to communicate better. And don't forget, please smash that subscribe button. I appreciate it. Today, we got a great question that came in. I'm going to jump in right to it. Sam asked this. He said, Sean, I have a hard time finding acceptance from my boss. Could you help me understand why she seems so cold to me all the time? And as I had a conversation with Sam, the things that I was speaking with him, he was telling me that he started describing his boss. And she was a lady who was always about the end dollar, always about like, I don't care how it gets done. I just want to see it the finished. And I'm sure you know the type that's just like either give me the results or get out of the house, right? Kind of a person. And you might have somebody that's similar to that in your world. And so today what I wanted to do is take a deep dive into some personalities because I think if you understand personality profiles, you can understand how to do it. And in the comments below, you'll see that what I said is learn the filter and then adapt your filter to be in that one. So today the lesson is just like understand, comprehend. I've got one little graph that I'm going to show you. And then from there, we'll kind of dive into all the pieces that are awesome. So here we go. First and foremost, I'm going to pull up this and we will dive into a little chart. So this is personality selling filters explained, part 1 of 2. I've got a personal story that I'm going to share because this is kind of a 2-part thing. Like when you're selling, and I always take everything from the selling perspective, it's very important, like vital, almost one of the most important things that you can do during any sales conversation, understand how people are intrinsically motivated, right? And so there's really 2 types of people in this world, right? There's either the introverted people, and Carl Jung, a longtime psychologist, came up with this. It's not anything that I created, but Carl Jung created this filter of the world because he had, like, I go into a store, actually I have a whole course on this, but there's either introverted people, the people that stay internal, or then there's extroverted people, those people that are outgoing and they get charged up, they get energized from either, if they're introverted, they get charged up and energized by spending time on their own, by reading books, by doing their own thing. Then you've got people on the other hand who get completely charged up by being around other people, those extroverts that we talk about. The second filter, because this wasn't enough to divide all the personalities out there, we had to decide, or the psychologists, the really smart people, said, well, you can either be action motivated, like results oriented, or you can be people motivated, right? Which is, I think, really, really important to know. So you're either introverted and extroverted, where you get your energy, and then you're either motivated by taking action or you're motivated by hanging out with other people. Like that really becomes the system of how we set this up. And now as we go into the box and we start to look at who's in there and what's in there, this is going to help Sam tremendously because Sam, all you got to do is place your boss where you think she is and then adapt your filter to speak in her language. It's very simple to do. Let me show you. So let's start with the extroverted people, the people that want results, the people that are always about it, getting the bottom line, bottom dollar. They're going to be the people who are extroverted, that are charged by externally seeing something and then also by action, getting it done. These are the people who want results. The best example I can share with you is CEO. So Sam, if you feel like your CEO, this girl that is giving you kind of a hard time, is somebody who's completely action motivated by looking for the results, and they're flamboyant, they're not flamboyant, but they're always outgoing, they're dressed sharp, they do everything like an extrovert would, that might be where your CEO sits in this dominant box. Their favorite word of all the words in the whole English language is one word. It's what, right? What's in it for me? What's the bottom line? What's the result I'm going to get? What are you going to do for me this week? What, right? So if you hear that speech pattern of the word what, know that this is probably an indicator this person might have a strong dominant style of personality. The second person is going to be that extroverted person, but just completely people motivated versus the action. And so I have so many examples of this in my life, but this is going to be the influential or the I style person who likes to be amongst the crowd, right? So the person I think of here is the sales pro. The sales pro, if you have a really good one, is going to be a high I personality profile with a secondary part of D, because they want the results, they want to get it done, but they would prefer spending more time with people, creating a social environment, having a little bit of fun. They like to have fun. fun, right? And their favorite word is who's coming to the party, who's going to be there. You all have that friend, you have that family member in your world that's always about, well, who's going to be there, who's the next person, oh, who's that, or and so if you hear the word who, then think about this is going to be somebody who's people motivated and probably extroverted, wants to meet some other people. They're going to be an influencer, and if we know they're an influencer, then all we have to do is adapt wherever our personality is to speak in their filter. And you don't have to do it for very long. Really, it's just the first 90 seconds of a conversation, because then what happens is it bridges the gap of, oh my gosh, this person's just like me. I'm going to trust them. I'm going to have deep rapport with them. And then they might buy something from me, right? So now let's move to the other side of the scale. And I'm going to share a big story about like how I learned all of this in the next session. But I wanted to give you straight definition today because I think it's valuable to hear this piece of it. So, okay, so now let's move to the other side over here. So who are the introverts? Who are the people that are introverted, but they're like results or action motivated? Well, these are going to be who you call your critical thinkers. These are the C people. The C people make the world go round. The C people are the people who abide by all the rules. They know all the regulations. They understand all the details, right? So we're thinking about an engineer or a programmer, somebody who has no problem looking at ones and zeros all day long, being cooped up in a room and just this understanding, like, I gotta have the details. I need spreadsheets. I need lists. All these. There's somebody in your world I know that that is this person, right? And so they are very structured. They need structure. If you put them in a scenario where there's no structure, they are going to fail, right? This is why programmers and engineers are so powerful, because they understand, they're able to diagnose different systems, and they say, oh, well, it's broken here because this does that and that does this and this connects here and that's how this goes and then this goes here, right? That's those people, the critical thinkers, right? So they're introverted most of the time. They get energy from being by themselves most of the time, and they're action or results driven, more action motivated than people motivated, is what I should say. Their favorite word is why. Why does it work that way? Why is that? Why, right? They want to know why it works. They want to know why you're doing it that way. Because if they understand formality and they understand the whole process of why you're trying to accomplish what you're trying to accomplish, right? Like now you can speak in the C language pretty quickly to understand, just speak in the filter of why. Right. And then lastly, and not least by any means, is who we call the steady relators. These are the people that pull all the other personalities together. In my opinion, one of the more important ones, these are the people connectors who, again, they want to make sure everybody in the room is taken care of. They are very people motivated, but they're introverted at the same time. These are the quiet people who observe just about everything, but never say too much unless you really get into a deep conversation with them. The people I think about most often are going to be the office administrators. Those people who are just around making sure that everybody has all the right paperwork. Like the virtual assistants are a dead ringer for this category most of the time. You've got your executive assistants, the EAs, the EVAs, the virtual assistants, like all those types of personalities typically fall into this box. What does this mean? Well, this means that we have to be very, very intrusive, not intrusive, but very, very understanding. We have to take some time, and we have to give them a very safe space for them to open up and share maybe how to make things better, or if there's something going wrong. These people typically aren't going to give too much advice because they feel like it would hurt somebody's feelings. And so unfortunately, that's who they are, but their favorite word is how. How is that going to fit in the system? How is that going to play with this person? How is it going to work with that person? How are the things going on in this world? So if you understand these 4 words, and that's really the fastest way to learn personalities, is listen to the speech patterns and understand what's the main word that the person you're listening to saying. How are they acting? Are they extrovertly driven? Do they look sharp? Are they always on time? Are they doing that kind of thing? Or are they more introverted, where they get energy from, maybe they have a huge collection of books? Look, the high C critical thinking type people, if you're in a Zoom meeting with them, they're going to have their desks going to be messy as hell. And they don't care, right? Because they know where everything is. They might have lots of piles of paperwork all over the place, right? Like there's so many examples that we can go in and out of each and every single one of these, but this is the main crux of what you need to understand. And then Sam was asking, like, how come my boss always seems so cold and very sharp? Because you might be over on the left side or even down here, somewhere in these three categories where your boss is over here, Sam. And so one of the things you need to think about doing is be more of a what person. When you go to them, say, hey, look, like this is broken. These are the two things that are fixing. I think it's going to be this one. You want me to execute on that? Your CEO is going to be like, oh my God, that's my language, my love language. You're speaking to me. Yes, do that now and tell me how it works. Great, I got you. And then you just go off and so that's going to empower you to be able to speak with them in a language that they love and they understand. And you're going to allow yourself to get a little bit further ahead when it comes to winning the game with pretending or speaking or working with your boss. So hopefully that was valuable. Please drop some comments in here. Chris says, knowing who you are and who you are talking to is a game changer. Yes, Chris, absolutely 100%. You're totally right. This is the easy way to explain it. Just take a picture of this. I think it's a very valuable slide. Put it on your desk. Use it often, because when you understand this and you can execute on it, you're going to win more often than not. With that said, you just been tuned up. I'm going to come back on next session. I'm actually going to give you a great example of how all the cast of characters play together, because I think that's a really great example. And it's something that came personally from my life. With that said, I can't wait to see you next time.